So let me see you again. Let me see you again. Let me see you again. Look at your own reflection. You don't have a clear complexion. Your patience has attention. But how did you make
This is Wilman Ziada, and today I'm so thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed singer, songwriter, full-on, all-around artist, the one and only, Miss Goldie Scott. How are you, Goldie?
I'm great. I'm doing great on this lovely Tuesday afternoon. I'm so happy to meet you, Will.
I know, Goldie, we've had a great off-camera talk, which should have been recorded, but you know what? That's for us in our hearts.
I will always remember it, genuinely, but I do like the candid stuff better, personally. I don't like any planned stuff, which is why I'm happy that none of this is planned, and I have no idea where we're going to go with this today, but we'll see.
Me either, Goldie. I mean, look, I've done all my research, but like I do with all these interviews, I am not interested in regurgitating something that people can read about you in an article or an interview or your bio. I just want to know, first and foremost, Goldie Scott, where were you born and when did you realize that I kind of have a good singing voice?
I was born and raised in central New Jersey, unfortunately. I will be the first one to tell you that New Jersey is not my identifier, but fortunately you cannot take the Jersey out of the girl. So yes, I've been singing since I could speak, and I speak quite a bit. But I have always been singing, and my mom bought me a karaoke machine, and we sang Mulan when I was 6, and that is when I knew. I remember I sang Reflection, and my whole family was like, "What the hell?" Like, she
A
actually.
little of it? You want to give a little bit? Who is that girl I see?
Staring straight back at me. Sorry, I'm on vocal rest right now.
Like
It's really-
literally, that just even that is enough. Like I can't wait for people. More on Goldie will be all under this video, folks. But your voice is like, and I know you probably get this. It's so unique. It is so authentic. You're giving me like old school, like 40s vibes, but also 21st century pop. I can't even. How would you characterize your voice? A. B. How do your friends characterize your voice? C. How do people you've never met characterize your voice?
So I think my voice is actually the only thing about me that is consistent, because I switch genres. Like, I write in every single genre,
Yeah.
and people, what's your genre? I'm like, don't pigeonhole me. Like, don't put me in a box.
Good for you.
Like, I have my stuff that's very like, reminiscent of the 20s, very like old world, and then I have things that are more like folk kind of style, and then I have more rock and roll stuff. But my voice, I would say, definitely is a distinct sound. How people compare me, I get this all the fucking time. Which I'm not mad about it, but I want to be my own person. A lot of people say you sound just like Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
A lot of people say Adele. Adele's a big influence of mine. Lady Gaga is a huge influence of mine, but like more so just the fact that she won't be put in a box, and she's had every era, and she is over the top and ridiculous, and I'm over the top and ridiculous. So yeah, I would say Lana Del Rey has been an inspiration to me. And
I was gonna say Lana. That's so funny you said that. But again, you're your first-rate version of yourself, and that unapologetic nature, Goldie, obviously has been with you since you were a kid. I love this childlike sense of wonder you have. Obviously, it's never left you. I'm curious where that comes from.
It's come from many lives. I definitely don't believe that this is my first life. I'm a very spiritual person.
Me too, baby. I could see you as like I could see you as like a 20s like nightclub singer that like also in the 50s had her own variety show.
You know what? Can we do that in the 2021s maybe?
Like, Goldie, let's just put it out in the universe, baby.
It's happening. Manifestation. I believe in it so heavily. I really do. So I like forgot what question you were even asking.
Me too. But I wanted to ask, I forgot to, because I'm just like loving everything about you. You were on American Idol. Talk to me about that experience.
Oh my God. Okay. So all I have to say about American Idol is that thank God for it, because it is what made me realize you're on the wrong path. You are not living your truth, and you need to find your identity, and you need to work your ass off. I was living a very false life, but I'm happy for all my experiences. They've made me the person that I am today. But I was going to Syracuse University. I was in a sorority. I was partying. I was drinking. I was smoking. I was not writing, except for when I was sad. And I had my summer going into sophomore year of college. I was reached out to by somebody, and they asked me if I wanted to audition for American Idol, and they said they would give me a front of the line pass. And I was like, all right. I wasn't thinking of doing this, but like, sure, whatever. And at the time, I wasn't Goldie. I was Steph. I was just STEF, all caps, which is pretty boring, but that is what I was. And I had no real vocal training. And that's what I did. So I auditioned over the summer. I got through all like the rounds before the judges, which there's a lot of them, which they don't tell you, but it's okay. And then I went back to college, and I was waiting for my judge audition, which I decided to do in LA. And I did that, and I had an amazing experience. I got the golden ticket. I was thriving, peaking, so happy. And I did an original song. And then Hollywood Week came around. And before Hollywood Week happened, which was in December, I wasn't really preparing. I was in school. I was going to frat parties, whatever. But I said to myself, no matter what happens, if I get through Hollywood Week and I go to Hawaii, or if I don't, I'm leaving, because I can't be here anymore. And what I realized at Hollywood Week, I knew I wasn't going to make it through. I was not ready. And I also don't think American Idol was like for me, but it was just important for me to get to where I want to be. I saw so many hardworking people, so many people who never went to school or dropped out, or even people who were in school, but like they were dedicating themselves fully, and they knew who they were. And I didn't know who I was. And I also just was not trained. So I got out of American Idol, and I took a semester off of school and never was going to return. And then I started interning at an independent record label in the city called Anti-Fragile Music. And I literally showed up to this guy's place, and I was like, you have to hire me. And he's like, we're only doing college credit. I'm like, no, I know I'm not in college, but like, you have to hire me. Like, I need this position. So I learned a lot. And he said to me, I was trying to give myself right away. I'm like, you should listen to my music on Spotify, this and that. But I was under Steph, and he's like, oh, Steph, like, that's kind of a generic name. Like, there's so many people out there. You should probably like do something that stands out more. Like, do you have any other ideas? And I did have this one name in mind because, well, there's a secret as to where it came from, but we're not going to spill that yet. That'll be like when I'm like 80, and that'll be like a secret. But basically I had this one name in mind, Goldie Scott. But I was like, I can't really have an alias. Like, that's fucking weird. Like, who do I think I am? Like, anyway, and he said to me, Goldie Scott, like, that's an amazing name for like a blonde Jewish girl. Like, you should do it. Like, that's it. And I was like, it has to like really like resonate. So I went to LA to like find myself. I went on a trip alone. And I did a desert photo shoot. The whole trip was very sporadic. And then I ended up coming home back into my hotel room, and I wrote my first single that came out as Goldie Scott called Desert Queen. And then I had the whole photo shoot. The pandemic happened. I was like, well, am I going to go back to school? If so, I should do an online school. So I ended up doing Berklee School of Music online. So that's what I do now, so I can move around.
Goldie, and I love that you took the American Idol experience that many might have looked at as a negative if they didn't get through Hollywood. You're like, no, that activated my bliss. And I love that you're doing Berklee School of Music. I went to school in Boston College, believe it or not, but Berklee School of Music is literally one of the best schools in the world. So congratulations on that. And listen, I could talk with you forever, but I guess my final question for you for this part of the interview, because we're going to talk beyond this, I know it. Goldie, I love you too. If you could give young Goldie or the young Goldies out there any advice, what would it be?
Do not let anybody, whether that be society or your parents or your friends, put you in a box and tell you what path to follow, because there's always going to be people who tell you that you can't do things, including my dad, who I love to death, who told me that no one's going to call me Goldie and that's weird and it's not authentic, because that's how I feel that I am. So it is authentic. By the way, I know my dad is my bassist. That's just another thing.
We will unpack that in therapy together, because, I worked with my twin brother for 25 years. God bless the US of A.
there's a lot of therapy that has been gone on.
Goldie, there's so much to release, but I'm so grateful for this beautiful trauma that was this interview. And before we get going, Goldie, I want you to let all of us know if any songs, albums that we can keep an eye and ear out for.
So I have 3 singles out currently. My latest single came out in July. It's called Mess Without You, very sad girl hour kind of thing. And I have a song called Little Robots, which is about how we're being programmed. And it's basically a fuck you to Mark Zuckerberg. That's coming out in January. So look out for that. And then hopefully my first album / EP will be out in the spring.
Amazing. And I know that we could speak forever on all of it. And we will have that time, I promise you. I want to again let the audience know for more on the incredible Goldie Scott. You can read more about her right below this video. Goldie, God bless you. And thank you so much for your time.
You as well. Have a great one. It was wonderful meeting you.
You too. Bye.